Episode 143. We got a jam-packed episode. One hell of a Sunday. Uh, just in general, from the Royal Rumble finishing up Saturday night, and the celebrations going into the late night, early mornings, and then one blockbuster trade that had your boy up till 3 in the morning watching Sports Center and Twitter, and then another blockbuster trade happening later that afternoon. So we'll go over those plus some men's college basketball, and maybe we'll sprinkle in some NFL, even though it's Super Bowl week. But with all that being said, guys, stay tuned. Back. Let's get into this. This is going to be a jam-packed basketball episode. You won't hear too much football, NFL action, at least for this episode's on Monday, so you won't hear too much on this one, even though Super Bowl week has officially kicked off. We got some NBA that we need to go over. I mean, the whole world sports community was shocked. This happened around 12 a.m. Well, I think like 12:15 a.m. Sunday, early Sunday morning. Luka heading to the Lakers. No one saw this one coming. When I first saw the tweet in the group chat, I'm like, bro, what the hell's going on? A couple of us were up. We were saying like, nah, Shams got hacked. Nah, your boy was not hacked. He had to put out a second tweet saying, no, this is very real. And then he put out the additional trade details. So here's the trade in totality. Lakers get Luka, Maxi Kleber, Markieff Morris, who was on that bubble team. Dallas gets Anthony Davis, Max Christie, and then one pick from the Lakers at 2029. Pick the Lakers had 2 first rounds to offer. And then the Jazz, I guess they sneak their way into this one. They get JSH, who doesn't really play too much, and then they get 2 second-round picks. Lawrence, I'll let you have the floor first. How shocked were you with this trade? And I guess before we give out grades, let's just go like, why do you think this went down? Like, what prompted the Mavs to do this?
Well, obviously, I don't know. Obviously, they don't understand how good they have it. To have a generational player twice from Eastern Europe, so like there's like there's like an actual like lineage to it. To then just like giving him up, and then like the fans just straight up coming out immediately after saying, "Oh man, they only care about the money. They don't care about the fans." Like that is so dead on true, and it's just so crazy how they had Luka and Brunson in that building draft at the same time, going to letting Brunson go, to now letting Luka go, and this GM dude, oh my god, like I didn't even think Jason Kidd was that bad of a coach, like this season. Like I thought he was decent. Last season, Jason Kidd was decent. It kind of like redeemed himself from his Nets days. And he just got absolutely hoed. You could tell he did not like that trade. You could tell he was thinking about how he was going to murder that dude.
Yeah, and Lawrence talking about in the presser that they had, I think yesterday afternoon, basically, Nico Harrison basically comes out and tries to rationalize, making that trade. And he was like, no one knew, not even J Kidd knew. And then he goes on to say, well, J Kidd, I think me and him are aligned. We're in sync. I think this will be a good move for both of us. And how he's, swinging for the fences and he wants to win now. That's what Lawrence is alluding to. But, Mark Cuban, if you guys didn't know, is no longer the majority owner. He sold like 2/3 of the Mavs to, I forget the family, but I think they're in the casino business. And Mark's whole thing was, he definitely could keep running the Mavs for like 10, 15, 20 more years, but he didn't want his kids to do it because they had no interest. And, he just needed a partner. So I guess these casino family, they know how to run a business. Well, obviously they know how to run a business, but they don't know jack about basketball. So if Mark was still running the team, like, they're not making this trade, are they, Lawrence?
No, dude. And then, like, at the beginning of the day, I told my buddy at work that Mark Cuban was not the owner anymore. He goes, no, Mark Cuban. He swore that he was still there. And I was like, no, he's no longer the majority. You think Cuban, after having Dirk was gonna let Luka ever walk. Luka was there forever. Luka was never leaving. Luka could get whoever he wanted. If he wanted Jalen Brunson back, he would have gotten him Brunson back.
Yeah, Mark. I mean, I think from the day he drafted him, he was like, "This kid's going to be great. He's going to be a legend." Mark had the utmost respect for him, and I didn't like if he was still in charge, this would not have happened. He would have. Not saying it's a good thing that he would have succumbed to Luka's every want and desire, but I mean, sometimes you gotta do that for the greats. And Mark Cuban was willing to do that with Dirk, and he was damn sure willing to do it for Luka. So this was, in my eyes, this was new ownership thinking. We don't feel like giving out $350 million. Plus, we don't want to give out $350 million to a guy that's who they think is fat, out of shape, doesn't really condition, doesn't really take this seriously. That's their perspective, even though they're like, I think they've only been owners for like a year and a half. Like, they haven't had much time to actually, I guess, kind of determine what steps they should make. They just kind of just made this off the whim, I feel like. I don't like Lawrence. I don't even think Nico Harrison actually, he might have just whispered to Palinka like, "Hey, do you think you would have done this?" And then he went to his bosses and like, "Hey, I think they might do this," and they were like, "Yeah, you gotta do this. Like, you gotta get this done." Like, I think this is mostly them, but also Nico Harrison. What do you think?
I just think Nico Harrison's an idiot. I think that he saw that the team was really good, right? And he goes, "Oh man, I didn't do anything to this team. I just inherited this team." So he thinks in his head that he has to make a move to like retake over like control. Like this was my team. Like I wanted to. This is my legacy. Like your legacy is now the biggest meme ever. Like you put it on yourself. If this team
Yeah,
fails, which it will, because AD is glass, we're gonna. If you thought AD was glass in the Lakers, he's gonna be super glass man. He's gonna be called Mr. Glass.
well, to be fair, AD has played a lot the past year and a half. I know he's out for the abdominal strain right now, but to be fair, he was eligible for All NBA last year. I think he made it. So I mean, he's been playing a decent amount. He's been playing what if he's been able to play, he's played. So I can't call him street clothes anymore. But a couple years ago, yeah, he's street clothes. He's glass. He's made of glass. Um, so a couple years ago, I'm not making this trade. Right now, if I'm the Mavs, like I get what he's trying to do. He just he went about it the wrong way. Like the fact that you kept it a secret, LeBron and Luka didn't know, Rich Paul and Luka's agent didn't know. Um, no other team really knew. I don't think any other team. I think the report came out that maybe Nico Harrison reached out to one other team. That one other team might have been the Bucks. I think some people speculate it might have been Miami too. I'm not sure about the Miami one, but I definitely could see the Bucks if they want defensive minded big men is what seemed like he wanted. Um, but yeah, you can't make this trade and not have a bidding war. I would have opened it up for everybody. Hey, I'm about to make a trade with the Lakers. They're offering this. If you guys can offer more, I'm willing to listen. But the fact that they just kept it between themselves, like they are buddy buddy. They are, I guess, have a prior relationship at Nike. Um, but the fact that he wasn't smart enough to extract all that he could from a team by trading Luka, even if he wanted to trade Luka, is what baffles me.
It's just the fact that they like. I get it's Anthony Davis, but like you only got one first round pick, and you're getting the late pick in 2029. So in my reality, that pick is useless to me. No offense, it might turn into something great one day, but as of right now, that pick is useless to me. It has no value to the team that I'm gonna have.
Yeah, and
Because you want to win now, right? Like that has no value to you.
especially if Luka does decide to stay there long term, then the Lakers are going to be good in 2029. So it's going to be a high pick, meaning it's going to be in the 20s. So it's not going to be worth anything like you said. So I guess let's move on to the grades, and then we'll talk about the fits. What would you grade each team?
A plus for the Lakers, F minus for the Mavericks, and the Jazz get a B just because they showed up somehow.
Yeah, apparently Danny Ainge, the president, basketball operations for the Jazz, he didn't know until 30 minutes before that, the trade was AD for Luka, but guess it was too late at that point, so he just had to go through with it. Um, yeah, I'm giving the Lakers. I'm not gonna say A plus because Luka can still opt out in a year and a half, so I give them an A. Um, it goes to A plus if he signs the extension this summer. But you get the better player, you get the A. Mavs, you get a C plus. I get what he's trying to do. You went about it the wrong way. You could have gotten way, way more, even if the Lakers, even if you like only wanted Anthony Davis, which it seems like he wanted Anthony Davis and maybe one other player from another team. The other team said no, so he's like, all right, let me just work with the Lakers. You still should have put it out there that, hey, I'm about to trade Luka. Who else would want him? And then you would have had 28, 27 other teams saying, hey, I'll give you X, Y, Z, and whatever else for Luka. And that would have forced the Lakers to give you whatever you wanted. So I give them a C plus. I do think the Mavs, if we're talking fit wise, I think honestly, Lawrence, they get the best starting five in NBA. Like between them, the Celtics, I would say the Knicks, but the Knicks, I think OG's hurt right now. And maybe the Thunder. I think those three have the best starting five. When we look at Dallas, you got Kyrie, you got Clay. You could also start Quentin Grimes. You got Najee Marshall. You're starting AD, and you're starting Gafford or Lively. I mean, that's a killer starting five. What do you think?
Point. I mean, I get it. I think it's a good move for the Mavs because Anthony Davis does not have to play the center.
Yeah.
You've heard a complaint about playing the center like Gafford. We'll get center minutes. Don't worry about that. He's good. He's good down the paint. What's going to be the next big question is how is Anthony Davis' transition game going to be now? Now you're going to go from kind of paint rimming. Now you're going to be out on the wing, middle paint. Are you going to be able to bring it? Like, this isn't you and the Pelicans way back in the day. You're a lot older. You can probably get hurt a lot easier, probably.
Yeah.
Driving the lane more.
Yeah, it seems like the Mavs probably want to play faster pace. That's what they were playing prior to the trade. So it'll be interesting to see kind of switching back to maybe like early Pelicans when that team kind of ran, but then later on, once it was like him, Rondo, Boogie, they kind of slowed it down a little bit. So it'll be interesting to see. The Jazz, they get a B just for being there. You got picks and you got a project. If you want to keep Jalen, you keep him. If you think he's up, I think his contract is up after this year. So if he doesn't work out, hey, go find another place to go play. So yeah, I mean it was a shocker. I would have never thought that in a million years this would have happened, but here we go. This basically puts to rest anybody is untouchable. Unless you got a no trade clause, you can't be traded. I mean, if this can happen, anything can happen. The Lakers, what do you think the Lakers do from here? LeBron already came out and said that he, is cool with staying the rest of the year. He's not going to waive his no trade clause. How do you think this? Luka's supposed to play next week, so he's not going to play any games this week. How do you think the Lakers look when he comes back from injury?
I think they're going to look like all offense with zero defense and zero bigs. They still have one more trade to make, and they have to get a big now because now they actually have no bigs.
Yeah, they got Jackson Hayes, but he's okay, but he gets into foul trouble way too early. He's not reliable. Big man. He's more just, hey, I can play 10, 15 minutes, but if you ask him to do more than that, that's when you get into trouble. So yeah, I agree with you. They need a big. But the people poo-pooing on them and saying, they digressed. I don't think so. I mean, they're still 5th seed. It would take a lot of losing for them not to make the playoffs. I think they're good enough. Maybe they drop a seed. I can see them dropping to the 6th seed, maybe 7th, but I think they can still make the playoffs and potentially win a series. If Luka goes off and LeBron goes off, I don't see why they can't win a series. But yeah, they need a big man. And we were
They don't
talking in the
even.
group chat. I was saying how I think they should dangle Austin Reeves in front of somebody. I think Austin Reeves is literally just a poor man's Luka. Like no shame, no disrespect, but they do a lot of the same things. I think having three ball hogs on the team is not conducive to winning. They not saying you got to move Austin Reeves right now, but I think this summer you got to move him because it's just redundant.
I think a smart move from the Lakers, and I know I bring him up a lot, but I feel like he could really work there. Just throw Valanciunas in there. Just trade for Valanciunas. He's not going to be that hard to get rid of. The Wizards don't really care. They're getting pounded. This season's over. Losing or keeping him is not going to change anything. He can play big man for you for 23, 24 minutes, and then 28, 32 in the playoffs. Like, he can do that. And you're not asking him to score a bunch, but when the ball gets down there, throw it in.
Yeah, if they want to go cheap, go big Val. I'm thinking they need athletic. Luka loves to throw lobs. So does LeBron. I think they need a more athletic big guy. You know, Big Val is kind of out of his athletic prime if he ever had one. So I'm thinking Miles Turner. I'm thinking Kessler, but the Jazz seem like they don't want to move on from him. So I don't know. Maybe get Time Lord. I think Time Lord would be cheap from Portland. Maybe go get him. I think
But he gets
Ayton.
hurt quick.
He does get hurt a lot. Ayton is another name that's been thrown around. I think Ayton's motor is just, and he's getting paid too much. I think his motor is up and down, and he just gets paid too much. So I probably wouldn't do that, but they definitely need a big. And then I would dangle Austin Reeves, maybe to get Cam Johnson. I think Cam Johnson would have fit in perfect. A 3-and-D guy, can shoot the three at the high clip, plays defense, makes a decent salary. I think that's the guy they should go after if they can afford him. Second trade, we got D Fox going to the Spurs. This was inevitable. If it wasn't going to happen this season, he was going to leave in 2026 and go to the Spurs, most likely. So let's see I think here's the trade. Kings get Fox and Jordan McLaughlin. Kings get Zach LaVine, some Spurs player. The 2025 Hornets pick, which is top 14 protected, they're not getting that. They get the Spurs 2027 pick, the Timberwolves 2031 pick, which might be good depending on what Ant-Man does, and then they get 3 seconds, and then the Bulls get a bunch of garbage. And they get their own pick back from the Spurs, which, Lawrence, they probably would have gotten back anyway because it's top 10 protected, and they're terrible. So I don't really know what's going on with the Bulls. What's your thoughts on this trade?
I think the Bulls simply just wanted to get rid of Zach LaVine, and just get some role players in there and just finish the season off, kind of thing. I think the Bulls think that they can make a run, so that's why they wanted their pick back just in case, because the East is so bad. Which, to be fair, in their defense, it is. The Hawks are probably going to go downhill. They're not going to be as good because Jalen Johnson's gone, and
Yep.
the team just overall doesn't look that good. And then the Hornets are so bad, and the Wizards are so bad. The Raptors are so bad.
They're all trying to capture the flag. Yeah.
There's a path where you didn't get your pick back, so you gotta secure that thing down.
All right. I guess you can make that. You can make that argument. I get that. How do you think? Now, for me, I thought the Spurs would kind of wait on this just because they have their own pick this year. They're out the playoffs as of right now. And then they have the, like you said, the Hawks pick is unprotected this year, which they have. And the Hawks are going to tank because Jalen Johnson, let's be honest, is kind of holding that team up. Trey has played okay, but his efficiency and turnovers has honestly cost him games. So, 2 valuable picks. I was thinking the Spurs would hold off, just wait until the summer to make this deal so that they would have 2 shots at trying to get Cooper Flag or maybe Ace Bailey or one of these other guys. Now, with this trade, they get to keep their pick this year and the Hawks pick. So maybe they're like, okay, we feel good just about keeping, one shot with Atlanta's pick versus, going two tries for getting one of the top guys in this draft. And honestly, they didn't have to give up a lot. I mean, the Hornets pick is going to get conveyed to be a bunch of seconds down the road. So honestly, if you think about it, they didn't give up too much to get Fox, which is why I'm thinking they did the trade right now, as opposed to maybe the summer. There's a bidding war that they have to pay a little bit more. So I get why they did it now. I still would have hold off, but the Kings, I'm not liking what they got back. Lawrence, how do you feel? I feel like at the very least they should have got the Spurs pick this year. They didn't. I mean, they got the Spurs pick in 2027. In 2027, they're gonna be good. They're gonna be like a top 3 team.
Yeah, I like the package. Like I like how much the Kings got back. That's the only thing good about it. Is you just
Yeah,
basically got players. You got young role players to fill your roster later in time. When you have a developed unit, hopefully. The only problem with it is the Kings didn't get a point guard. If you pull up the Kings
yeah,
roster now, Malik Monk runs point guard.
yep,
I'm not shitting on Monk, but he's not a very good point guard. He's a shooting guard, and he's definitely a shooting guard. That offense is going to go stale now because there's no one to really move the ball around. So
yeah. They have
um,
Devin Carter is a rookie point guard. I don't know how good he is. I don't watch too many Kings games, but I guess they could experiment with that. But right now they have Malik Monk as a starter. Levine, DeMar, Keegan starting at the 4. Sabonis is still there. So it's a decent team. I think they're just in the same spot that they were. I don't think they get any better or any less. They just got extra picks to work with if they wanted to make another move.
yeah, I mean you're fair.
And yeah, the Bulls, like I said, the Bulls. Yeah, if we had to grade it, Bulls get an F. Well, no, they get a D. They get a D solely because they moved off of Levine, which they've been trying to do for like 2 years. Uh, Kings,
Give him a C.
I was gonna give them a C plus, but I'll give them a B minus. They got Levine, which is honestly, if we're thinking about it, Levine and De'Aaron Fox are comparable players. Levine, I think, shoots the 3 a little bit better than Fox, but I mean, they both haven't really accomplished much in their careers thus far. They both get hurt. Not quite a bit, but they both have been hurt in the past couple of years. So I think they're comparable players. Time will tell. Then they get some firsts, but they should have. It would have easily been an A if they just got at least the Spurs or the Hawks pick. But the fact that they didn't, no, you get a B minus. Spurs, you get an A because you got the player that wanted to go there. I think that's it for NBA. Jimmy's still out there. Came out that it came out today that he's gonna, even though he was interested in the Warriors a month ago, he said today that he won't sign an extension there, and that froze talks between the Warriors and the Heat. The Suns still want Jimmy, but they have no one to take Bill's contract, so this will be very interesting. They only have a couple days left. Zion, maybe they move Zion. Ingram maybe gets moved. Who do you think? Before we move on to college basketball, who do you think the next guy that potentially gets moved by Thursday? Is it Zion? Is it Ingram?
It's got to be
Is it
It's got to be Jimmy Butler.
is it Jimmy?
They're
Is
gonna
it
fold and they're gonna take anything that they can get for him at the end of the day because he doesn't want to be there. He's wasting space. He's a cancer to the locker room. They're gonna do anything they can possibly do to just get him out of there, solve the problem, and try to move forward. It's a bad
oh,
enough Eastern Conference. Whatever you get back, you might be able to make a push.
oh no, I agree. I think if
Yeah,
Thursday comes around and you don't get anything other than Beal and 3 picks, you take Beal and 3 picks, you deal with it later. Honestly, I don't see what's wrong with Beal. Yeah, I guess he makes a lot of money for a player that really isn't that productive for that price. I get that, but if they give me 3 first-round picks, I'm taking 3 first-round picks. No matter, even if they are bad, I'm taking 3 first-round picks. And then maybe I flip those for somebody down the line. They keep talking about 2026. Well, 2 of the guys that they were going for in 2026 just got traded, and one of the guys doesn't want to leave. Luka, he might want to stay if they put a good enough team around him. If he signs a contract this summer, then who's left in 2026? Porzingis at his old age? No, I wouldn't want him. I think a couple other guys that aren't really noteworthy. Like, let's just be real. I think Pat just needs to take what he can get. If it's Bill on 3 picks, you gotta do it. You would do it?
Oh, I mean, for what you have right now, I would do it because I know Beal will come in there and try to play. At least you don't know Jimmy Butler's not coming in there to play.
Yeah, I mean, and even if the backcourt defense will be bad, you still have Bam, you still have Ware, both of those two defensive monsters who can clean up anything that gets past them. If someone drives in the paint, well, you get to go through Bam and Ware, and then you could easily plug in, I don't know, Hami to play defense at the 3, or whoever else they want to throw in to play some defense at the 3. I think they'd be pretty decent. They're not winning a championship, but they'd be decent. They'd be a top 4 team.
I agree with you. Segue, though, for you. You said no NFL. You did. But it just got released.
I said sprinkle.
Well, I got something for you. Cooper Kupp has just been informed that the team will be seeking a trade for him immediately. So Cooper Kupp is on the chopping block for everybody. You just said put him on the table and everyone come eat. Cooper Kupp's just been put on the table. Who needs to go get Cooper Kupp?
The team that shares the stadium with them, the Chargers.
I mean, I could agree with you. But
I don't know how cheap the asking price is. Maybe you give them a third.
Well, they're seeking a trade immediately, so it's going to be to the best buyer. And
if I'm the Chargers, I'm giving them a third.
And it's getting done before the NFL draft.
Yeah, I'm giving them a third, and I'll pay the rest of his contract. We can work a new deal if we want to. But they need a receiver. You don't need a great receiver. You just need someone with sure hands and someone that can get open. That's Cooper Kupp. Let's be honest.
And there's a lot of teams that need a receiver, Carolina included.
So what would you pay? You're the Panthers. You need a receiver. What would you pay? Or if you're the Commanders, you need a receiver. What would you pay?
Oh, I'll throw a player in there that they need. So they need defensive guys, definitely. They need something. To bolster that.
They need a secondary guy. Maybe you give him J.C. Horn.
I ain't giving him J.C. I could see a very possible like Mike Jackson. I think Mike Jackson had a really good season. It wasn't anything incredible, but you can get something for him. Trade him Mike Jackson, get Cooper Kupp, 3rd round pick, like you said, but you get a player and a pick, and I get the receiver I need. Now I don't even have to worry about receiver in the draft that hard because I could get a savvy vet in there, and then I have Adam Thielen, Cooper Kupp, savvy vet, Xavier Legette, Jalen Coker. I mean, I think I'm okay. I think I'm good with that. Let's get a savvy vet in there.
Maybe, and just throwing it out there, maybe if you're the Commanders, you give them John Allen and a 4th or something like that. They need defense, like you said. Interior D lineman won't hurt. I think maybe that'll satisfy them, but
it's going to be whatever team offers up a player that's good enough in their wheelhouse.
Yeah. Speaking of NFL, another trade demand or request or someone on the trading block potentially. This morning, AFC North defensive end, Myles Garrett put out a statement. He wants to be traded. I think the Browns immediately afterwards said they're not entertaining trades. They will entertain if the asking price is correct. So what do you think? Who do you think is going to try and get Myles Garrett? What's the best spot for him?
It's going to be a younger team that has no defense, and is looking to make a push this season. A team I can see like that very easily. I don't know what. See, I'm not good enough right now to know what people should offer. But if I'm the Commanders, I'm making that move. I mean, that's just reckoning to be had right there that you need to make that next year push. Because you're the Commanders, like you can't run it back with the same team you just had. People will figure you out. You got to add something different that you didn't have before. Another team that I feel could really, really use this, like the Cardinals. I mean, they were the worst team on 3rd down last season. But offensively, the team's not that bad, and they can make a move. They just need the ability to not have to outscore every team every single game. Tampa Bay should probably want to make some kind of move like that. Give yourself a staple on both sides of the ball. Just different teams like that.
Yeah, I agree. This probably won't happen. I doubt they trade in division, but send your boy Miles to the best team in Ohio. We'll give you T. Higgins in a second. I think that might do it. I doubt they do it. I think that the asking price for in division is probably like at least 2 firsts and a really good player. So that's not happening. But a man can dream.
But if they did pay double for him, would you be mad?
Hell no. We need to keep our first. Maybe if they want the first next year, a first next year and a second this year, and T. Higgins, because T. Higgins is going to make more than Myles Garrett. So if you can get a better player, I mean, if we're talking, who contributes more to winning, I think you can easily say Myles would. Myles with Trey Hendrickson, they're gonna be eating. And you pay him less than T. T's gonna be making like $30 million per year. I would do it. A first next year and a second this year. And T, they need a receiver. It works out.
You're very true.
All right. Second to last thought, men's college basketball. We got good news. Mason, you see at the bottom, I'll highlight it right here. They got not even first place votes, but top 25 votes in the men's college basketball rankings for this week. This is week 14. They've been playing well. I think they got seven wins in a row. They just won against who they play Saturday? It was Davidson, right?
Yes, Davidson, yeah.
And then we won Wednesday versus who did we play Wednesday? We were just there. Loyola. They beat Loyola in overtime. So 2 good wins, and I called it. Remember, Lawrence, I said, hey, if they finish out this week with some dubs, they're going to get some votes. And what do you know?
And somehow
they got some votes.
Other rankings were lower than VCU, so.
Yeah, I don't get that. If the AP rankings tell you anything, it basically tells you that, hey, Mason is at the very least a top 40 team. And if you're getting votes, you're probably more like in the 30 to 35 range. So I don't know what these rankings are all about, what they factor into them, but obviously they haven't been watching like we've been watching. They've been playing well. The one weakness, Lawrence, they can't hit free throws.
Fair. But do they need it? I mean, what needs to happen more of is the offensive guards need to attack the paint a little harder and really get teams in foul trouble. That's how their game really should be based on. Just because their bigs can't shoot free throws. And it's week after week that they can't shoot free throws. So if they're never going to get better at shooting free throws, then you might as well just move off that game plan. Just let them all be. It's going to come to a point in, let's say, I think it's probably going to be like the A10 tournament when teams are really, really trying to lock in on how to beat you. Is they're going to realize, just hack a sack. Just throw the power forward. We don't care about him fouling out. Throw him in there. Anytime he gets dangerous, just whack him.
Yep.
And they're gonna have like 2 guys who never play, but are big, and they're just gonna keep doing that over and over again. And honestly, if this tells everyone the game plan how to beat us, then so be it, because they should have figured out something else.
Yeah, honestly, Big Boy Haynes, he honestly could average 20 if he just hits his damn free throws. We went to the game Wednesday, and I think he missed like 4 in a row. Like, it's inexcusable. Their other big, I don't know, I forgot his name, but he's not good at free throws either. He's a little bit better, but I mean, that's not saying much. So they got to fix that. I know it's maybe not a thing they fix this season, but that's something you got to work on in the summer. But hey, we're on the roll. Hopefully we keep this going. I think we played JW this week, and I think we got Rhode Island at home. So hopefully we can avenge that loss a little bit earlier in January. So there's that. Last but not least, the Royal Rumble was Saturday. Did you catch any of this huge WWE pay-per-view?
I watched everything but the tag team match.
Same here. I didn't catch a tag team match. Um, the women's Royal Rumble, loved it. Very good. Very predictable though. In the group chat, we were saying who's going to win. I think we all said, yeah, Charlotte. I wouldn't be surprised. Wouldn't be surprised if Charlotte Flair won. You know, being that this is her first match back in like a year. And what do you know? She won. So shout out to her. It was pretty good Rumble for the women's. I can't complain. What are your thoughts?
I thought the women's was honestly at some points more entertaining. The Chelsea, what was it?
Chelsea Green, right?
Yeah, Chelsea Green when she walked up in the middle of the girls and then got beat up in a circle. Um, oh man, was it John Disgrace or Jay Disgrace? She picked up. Ooh, what was her name? The big girl, Nia Jax.
Yeah, Nia Jax
picked her up and I guess cartwheeled her. That was super impressive.
Hey, these women can wrestle nowadays. Don't sleep on the women. Then you had the title match, which I didn't watch, but I think DY. I don't know what I pronounced it for. DIY. They won.
I don't even know who they are, so it doesn't matter. You can just get right to the Cody Rhodes match.
Cody Rhodes, Kevin Owens. That looked like that hurt. I mean, they were beating the hell out of each other. And when Cody did the Alabama Slam on the ladder that was propped up against the ring and the table, that honestly looked like that hurt. Like, I think he was in real pain. Like, I don't think that was. if he wasn't hurting, that was some good acting. What are your thoughts? Overall, good match though. That was a great match.
Definitely was concussed and didn't know where he was, and they told him just to lay there. That's 1,000% what happened.
Yeah.
Hey, I did also agree. I thought it was an entertaining match. I'm honestly starting to think that Cody Rhodes is a little whack. No, I'm not gonna lie.
I've been saying that. At WrestleMania, I knew he was gonna win, but I was like, I hope he doesn't hold it for long. But what do you know? We have another champion that's held the title for a year.
Yeah, I completely agree. I think the main problem is like there's no one turning heel, because we like to say it, turning heel in the WWE. There's no one turning heel that I care to see turn heel. Like I want to see. I would love to see Cody Rhodes turn heel. I would love to see John Cena stop being this like good little boy, like my favorite world tour. Like, I don't give a damn. Beat some motherfuckers up. The only match you've done so far this year is the Royal Rumble. All you've done is come around and say, "What's up? I'm John Cena." Blah, 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 yeah. I don't care. Yep. I want some action. This is your last year, and you already wasted a month of it.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, I don't mind that. I don't mind that
Uso. I get it, but I don't like it. The yeet.
You don't yeet everywhere when he wins or comes out. Like, I mean, it's almost impossible to stop yeeting. I have to yeet. If I see Jay on screen, I'm yeeting. No ifs, ands, or buts. Hey, I said before, hey, I think Jay's going to win. Everyone thought it was going to be CM Punk or Cena. I said, nah, I think Jay's going to win.
He had to win for the main event part because he's the main event Uso.
Yeah, and honestly, Jay deserves a title shot. I would have liked if he beat Gunther at Saturday Night Main Event. I think it was like what 2 weeks ago, 2 Saturdays ago.
So here's my problem though, and here's what's gonna get bad, and I know I'm wrong, but he keeps barking about how he's gonna beat Gunther. Like, oh, if you give me one more shot, I could do it. I'm gonna have to watch boring ass Gunther and Yeet fight at WrestleMania in the main event, and this motherfucking Gunther who can never sell anything. He doesn't sell me on anything. I'm always sold on the fact that I hope the other person beats you, and then I'm always ripped off.
Well, I don't think I think their main event's gonna be on Saturday, and I think whatever Cena decides to do is gonna be Sunday. But yeah, you're right. I think, like I said, he should have won 2 Saturdays ago. But people said that there was no storyline built up, but obviously they wrestled each other a couple times before. So now WrestleMania, when Jay wins, it's not going to be a surprise to anybody. He's going to hold the championship for a little bit. Hopefully, Triple H, Mr. H, goes back to people holding the title for like a couple months. Cause I'm tired of like, okay, you win at WrestleMania, you get to hold it for a whole year. Like we gotta get away from that. I mean, why can't we get back to you win it for a month, lose it, then you have to redeem yourself, win it again? Like we need to go back to that.
Yeah, even the first few times is gonna feel so good because like even back in the day, like why do you think Triple H was a 10-time champion of this? Like, because that dude lost every once in a while just to get it back. Like,
Yeah, they gotta
Roman
get other
Reigns,
people.
what is it? Roman Reigns is like a 3-time champion.
But he's the
But,
longest reigning champion because he
yeah,
held it
but
for like 3 years.
okay, but he only won it 3 times because that dude
Yeah,
held it way too long. He could have gotten
yeah.
3 more championships out of that run.
At least probably like 5. If you being real, he could like every other pay-per-view he could have got it back. So at least 4 to 5. So yeah, Jay won a main event. The Royal Rumble, he's probably gonna go against Gunther. John Cena intends on Wrestling Elimination Chamber next month, March. I think March 1st.
He's the only one locked in.
He's locked in. He's he wants that 17th title. He wants to break the record. I hope he does. But hopefully he actually wrestles because in the Rumble, your boy didn't wrestle too much. I get he's shooting his movie and hungry, but honestly, he wasn't really moving. He was kind of stationary.
Yeah, I've noticed that in a lot of his time coming back. I mean, he hasn't done really anything since he's been back.
Yeah, so
It's been a lot of
hopefully,
selling, not doing.
yeah, hopefully your boy, Cena can put his old moves on display, Elimination Chamber. But we shall see. Anything else before we head on out, Lawrence? We got our Super Bowl preview on Wednesday. Looking forward to that.
Man, I'm just gonna go chug some tea and try to be better. Try to feel better.
All right, that's what we. Hopefully, you'll feel better.
Dude,
Yep.
I gotta feel better because I gotta rage if these Chiefs win the Super Bowl one more time.
If they win Super Bowl, it's over. But hey, I'll save that for Wednesday. I'll save my rage for Wednesday. All right. MTL Sports Family, episode 143. Thank you guys for watching, listening on Spotify, all that good stuff. We'll see you later this week. Peace.